Are we ready?
We're ready.
All right. Dad jeans. Dad jeans.
There is no void that email replaces except for typewritten letters.
Right. I mean, it was quite nice. Yeah, exactly. It was
In
quite
the
nice when we
90s.
had no other option.
Yes,
You
exactly.
were like, oh, look at this email thing. But now it's just like you have 50,000 other places that you can be contacted in far more quickly than email. And who's checking their email anymore? I'll be lucky if
Hopefully
I check my
no one.
email like once a day. Like I don't even know that it's there anymore. And then someone will be like, yeah, like every once in a while, someone will be like, yeah, did you see that thing on email? And I'm like, no, of course I didn't see that fucking thing on email.
No
Who
one
sees
checks email
anything on
anymore.
email?
Jesus Christ.
No one sees a thing on email.
Come on with you.
Come on.
Sent me back to drinking
Ah.
seltzer water.
Hey. Good morning, Brendan.
Good morning. Good morning. It's nice to see you.
Brendan. It is
Jeffrey.
so nice to be drinking with you at 7 a.m. on Friday morning.
It's the only time we could squeeze it in.
The only time we could squeeze it in. And the funny thing is that we've been drinking all night. So it's really just a continuation of you were drinking seltzer.
Laced with psilocybin.
Oh, I didn't know that you were tripping the light fantastic all night.
Yeah. I like to microdose.
That explains doesn't actually explain anything. Now that I think about it, no, it doesn't clear anything up for me.
And it doesn't create any more questions either. It's a
No.
flat line of information.
Yeah, it's really not. It just kind of came in one ear, out the other, and now I know that, and I'm no better or worse for it.
I aspire for everything I say to you to achieve this state.
Complete absence of meaning.
Whelmedness as opposed to over or underwhelmed.
Quite whelmed.
Quite
yes.
whelmed. I just want to whelm you.
My name, by the way,
Oh, go on.
Jeffrey Dinsmore.
Oh,
Yeah.
my name,
Yes.
Brendan Hughes.
Brendan.
I want to listen, Jeffrey. I just want to welcome you to today.
Listen. No, it's nice of you to stop by. I thought this whole time that your name was Brandon. What a fucking... So when I hear this "Let's Go Brandon" chant, I'm like, God, Brandon must be really upset about that.
Oh, very upset.
But that's not even your name.
No.
Wow.
Brandon is the Anglican and American bastardization of my otherwise perfect Irish name.
Brendan.
Yeah.
What's the Anglican bastardization of Gleason?
Glasson.
Brandon Glasson.
Yeah.
That would be the most famous actor in America, Brandon Glasson.
Brandon Glasson. Yeah. Brandon. That whole "Let's Go Brandon" thing. If I had been on that flight, first of all, I wouldn't have known what it meant because I wasn't that up on the right-wing dog whistles.
Oh, it was instant.
It
was like in one weekend, every right winger knew that was the thing that they said.
Yeah.
But yes, if you're on the flight with
because they watch NASCAR,
yes,
so
right.
that has something to do with it.
Sure.
The rest of us
That's
don't
where it
watch
came
NASCAR.
from.
Yeah, that's probably where all of their like memes and other things come from.
Just all NASCAR.
It's just all NASCAR.
Maybe it's not even Fox. We can let them keep going. Just get rid of NASCAR.
That's not a bad idea.
Stop televising NASCAR.
Wow. That could, and then they wouldn't have a way to communicate with each other.
Exactly.
Nor would they ever get a hankering for Winston cigarettes.
Is that what they advertise during?
Well, first of all, I used to smoke a cigarette or two, and Winston's taste disgusting. Second of all, like
more so than other cigarettes.
Yes, more so than others. They taste like wet rat hair compared to other cigarettes. Ooh. And Winston advertising is all over NASCAR.
Oh, it's cheap, right? Those were cheap cigarettes.
I think so. I think
is that what made them?
They were absolutely foul cigarettes.
Yeah,
and
it's like
NASCAR is what it's all about.
Huh? Interesting. Well, we've learned a lot this morning about
we have
cars and cigarettes.
Lighting up a Winston right now. I could go for a Winston.
I could go. Yeah, after this in this climate.
Yeah.
After this week.
Oh my God.
Give me a pack of Winstons.
Jeff, I think
that's all I need to get through.
Well, we just have to start spending time with our family. I mean, this Biden administration thing is a brief reprieve from the suck hole we've already fallen into.
I don't even know how much of a reprieve it is.
No. The media won't let you have one, that's for sure.
Oh no, they want to keep us on edge. They don't want to every day I open the news and like I read the latest like bad thing that Joe Biden has done, like, be there while prices are increasing,
Right. Yep.
or whatever crime he's committed today. And I rarely see anyone in the mainstream news say, also the last president was a fascist.
Yeah, right. But yeah, this, when compared to like this little statecraft misstep, where he forgot to include a paperclip when sending a letter to the president of Djibouti,
right,
which every president prior to Biden had done, pales in comparison to the fact that Donald Trump is responsible for the deaths of 500,000 people.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it really seems like we're not, our perspective is a little off in this country.
Yeah, there are two standards.
Let's just keep moving forward, and this outrage today of Joe Biden, then it's the paperclip. That's the one we're going to remember.
Even NPR's. I was listening to NPR and they were like, Democrats are going to have a hard time next year. Everyone hates them and they're ineffectual and milquetoast. Back to you, Jordan Lafarge, or whoever was the host. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a second. What does that come? Were you citing anything? Was there a citation?
Yeah.
Or are you just all being told to make it a drama so that we all lose?
I think, like I said a couple of weeks ago, I think it's just that's how we tell stories, and in the absence of drama, we almost make it more dramatic. You know, it's like there is so much drama in the Trump administration that you tried to like suppress the drama. You had to be like, it's not that bad out there. It's fine. Even though like everyone in the fucking White House is like a crawling the walls monkey, like throwing their shit at each other. It's like literal orangutans, like walking up the walls of the White House.
And Steve Bannon masturbating on the White House lawn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the noise I'm sure he makes when he masturbates.
Well, that's partly because he's also scarfing down a grilled cheese sandwich at the same time.
Scarfing down a grilled cheese sandwich with one hand, masturbating with the other hand. He's got a beer. Someone's giving him a beer bong at the same time.
And he's getting his butthole bleached.
Yeah. While getting his butthole bleached in 3 shirts.
By Stephen Miller.
Whatever happened to that guy, huh?
That guy, Jesus. I mean, more horrible things come out about what he did while he was there every day.
Oh, he was a nightmare, this guy. A human nightmare.
Jesus, a human nightmare.
Shall we, speaking of human nightmares, we've gotten a couple of other calls from our listeners. Shall we listen to them?
Oh, yes. I think that's a fine idea.
All right. So this is a couple weeks ago. We said everyone who made it to the end of the show, please leave us a message at our phone number, which can we play that beautiful phone number theme song?
323-515-9290.
323.
There you go.
5,
yeah, they just heard it.
5-1.
We just heard it.
Okay.
You should know it. You just heard it.
9290.
For any new listeners, we don't play the theme songs live.
Right. We just make it seem like we do.
We just make Brendan, through the magic of
well, this is some privileged BTS.
Craftiness.
This is just for the Patreon listeners, Jeff.
Yeah, this one is only if you're not a Patreon listener, then you're not hearing this right now. Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't.
And if you are, congratulations, you somehow are patronizing our podcast for free.
Thank you for your donation of nothing. So we had some calls a couple weeks ago. We said, call us and tell us that you made it through the end of the episode. So we got a couple more calls. We played a few last week. Mm-hmm. Here's a few more.
Oh, let's hear them.
Well, let's.
Hey, Jeffrey and Brendan. Long-time listener, third-time caller, Nick Weiner here, calling to say, made it. And if you can remember why I'm saying made it, you call me at 415-4-2012 and tell me, remembered it.
That's pretty good.
That's
we should probably bleep
You
his
should
number.
bleep that number. Yeah.
I was just going to say, Nick, fantastic to hear. Did you just get married recently? Did I see that on the internet? If so, congratulations on your nuptials, Nick.
Yeah, I say congratulations as well. I don't understand why we weren't asked to host.
I also don't understand. I've officiated 2 weddings already.
I don't think I think we need to. Is there like do people do color commentary at weddings? I feel like that we could do that.
Oh, that's a brilliant idea, or at least
We'd
be
be
like
good at
Waldorf
that.
and Statler.
Yes.
This brings
Just give
up
us a box above the dance floor and let us mock people.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
This brings up kind of a sore point and a bone I perpetually have to pick
Oh,
with
a
you,
sore
Jeff.
bone.
A
Okay,
sore
bring it
bone
in.
I have to pick with you.
bring me your sore bone, my friend.
I had an actually ex-girlfriend who went to the sore bone. She was very smart.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
And the sore bone is this. You didn't invite me to your wedding.
Did I know you when I got married?
No, we hadn't met yet.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, come on, Brandon.
It still feels like an injustice.
Get
at
out of here.
at this
Get
point,
out of Get out of here.
I feel like now I would qualify for an invitation to your wedding
No.
were you to be married now. No? Oh, okay. I'm being
not.
presumptuous.
Absolutely not. My wedding, no offense.
None per
My
se.
wedding was for people I'd like.
I'm not specifically offended by that.
No offense. I'm punchy tonight, Brendan. I feel
You
like
are.
I'm
I like it.
I'm coming in.
I like the new
hit.
Jeff.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I've been trying to re-record my phone voicemail, and I've done it probably 50 times over the last couple of days. So I have a concept in my head, but I just can't nail it.
What's the concept? Do you do outgoing message performance art? Because I love that when people do that.
I mean, I haven't for many years, but my last one, I don't know if you've heard it, but it simply said, Dinsmore, voicemail.
I never
That
heard
was
that.
that was my last voicemail message.
Wow.
But now I'm doing a character where you call me and it's going to be like, oh, well, hello. Oh, you've reached the voicemail of Jeffrey Dinsmore. If that's who you were trying to reach, then you did it right, because that's where you are. Well, I can't answer your phone right now. I'm quite busy. And it's something like that. But I haven't nailed the perfect. I haven't nailed the perfect gag.
Ah, yes.
But that's my voice.
Yeah. Could it be someone has you tied up in the background?
Someone has me tied up as if like someone's trying to I've been kidnapped or something.
Yes, and their first order of business is to change your outgoing voicemail.
Oh, maybe. That's more elaborate than I was thinking of. But you think conceptually. I appreciate it.
You can't come to the phone right now. Call the police.
Oh, that's someone else. Oh, I see. So that's not me. That's not actually me that's leaving the message.
No, you're a creepy Florida sex
Oh,
weirdo.
I'm a guy. Oh, Jeffrey's a little bit busy right now. He seems to be. I think he's still breathing.
that kind
Like
of
that.
Thing. And you're like,
I'll consider it. Maybe we could get listeners to do my outgoing voicemail.
oh, so
message.
this is sort of a reverse. Wait, don't tell me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have to call.
You win. You get to do our outgoing message.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it's better than fucking Carl Castle. Shall we listen to our next call?
Oh, why not? That's a fantastic idea.
Here we go.
Hello, beautiful humans. It's Michaela Block. How I love that your amazing, hilarious, wise voices are piped back into my hearing aids and my ear holes. And I was so happy to hear that because these hearing aids, I'll just be so much wiser waiting for that to happen. But I just wanted to, it's so hilarious. I am so sorry. I waited and waited for you all so desperately. And then I'm so fickle. I'm so sorry. I just started listening to the murder again and got all caught up in the murder. And then here is this, I started listening to not your first, but this latest one. And there's my name in the pod again. So that's really nice, guys. I'll listen to the end. I always do. So anyway, love you, gold.
I think that might be the voice I'm doing, actually, unconsciously on my voice message. Well, hello, this is Michaela Block. It's identical, right?
Yeah, it's very
Hello,
good.
how are you? No, it's Michaela Block. It's so lovely to hear your voice
I
again.
always. You are the princess of dad jeans.
Ooh, the princess of dad jeans.
Yeah,
the Princess Peach.
Princess
of
Regent. And I can't remember what Regent
The
means.
dad jeans Mario verse.
Yeah, the Dead Sheets Mario verse.
Yeah.
Michaela, it's great to hear your voice. Thank you for being a listener, and thank you for all of your encouragement on our mutual bizarre journey into the world
Yes.
of screaming silence.
Can I be Waluigi?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. How is there there's Wario, which makes perfect sense. He's Mario, except he likes war. Like, he's a bad guy.
Ah.
And then there's Waluigi, who's just bad Luigi.
This is these new Mario. The last Mario game that I played was Super Mario Brothers 3, which
Right.
came out in 1988. That's the last time
They probably
But
didn't
apparently
have
there's
those
been more
characters then.
since.
They've added a few characters.
I see.
They're pretty standard though, I think, as the years have gone on. Mm-hmm. The Wario character or the Mario characters, they've kind of solidified.
Ah.
Like if you were to play a Super Smash Bros.
That's a thing, right? Where they race cars or something, or is that a totally different
That's
one?
a different one. That's Mario Kart.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's a lot of like Mario Golf. Like Mario just does everything, but he always does it a little bit weird and wacky.
Isn't he a plumber? Doesn't he have any clients?
I think he was a plumber at some point. It's an interesting universe to me, the Mario universe. It's like it's one of those universes. I mean, they're building theme parks now.
What?
At Universal Studios, there's going to be a Mario Land.
Where you climb down the green tubes and swim with the fish and jump on the turtles?
Yeah, or maybe you jump up and hit a block or something with your head.
And turns into a flower, and then you become twice your own size.
Yeah. See, that they're not going to be able to replicate that magic, are they?
Well, they might.
Maybe. You never know. I guess in
those
VR.
Imagineers over
in
at
the
Universal.
metaverse, anything is possible
In
in
the
metaverse.
metaverse, exactly.
I saw Elvis Costello this week. This isn't one of my things.
Jesus Christ, you did.
I did.
Was he wearing glasses?
I've been going to concerts again.
I can't believe you've been going to concerts.
Been going to a lot of concerts.
How do you
yeah.
stay up?
I pinch myself.
Okay.
No, I don't know how I stay up. I just stay up. I don't know. I'm not like that. Well, one of the concerts I was pretty happy to be at, but then there's always like then after the concert you have to get home somehow.
Right.
That's the irritating part.
Sedan chair. That's your only man.
Oh yeah, I should hire like some
Footmen.
soldiers or
Yep.
footmen or something to carry me around in my sedan. It wasn't good. It was disappointing. I was
Really?
disappointed. He's my guy. You know that. He's
I
my
do
guy.
know that. I've seen him in concert myself.
Yeah.
He did a little too much a cappella for my taste.
Oh really?
Yeah, he would come forward past the microphone and just sort of like sing, and it was supposed to be a religious experience, but it kind of, I don't know.
It didn't.
Here's the thing:
Yeah.
the Elvis Costello catalog is 59% brilliant.
Don't
and
stop whatever you're about to do.
41. Never mind.
You're wrong. But keep going.
And 41% not really. I can't. I'm gonna hit skip. I'm sorry to say that to you, but do you know what I'm talking about?
How dare you?
I know.
I think he has stuff that doesn't hit me as much as some of his other stuff, but a lot of his stuff that I think people don't really respond to is quite good. He's like Prince. Like I did this experiment where I went through like all the Prince albums past Prince's heyday. Like, so, whatever,
Alphabet City.
93 or so and beyond.
Yeah.
Alphabet Street is a fantastic song, but that was recorded within his heyday. We'll
okay.
discuss this at a different time.
I see.
But I went through all these albums. I mean, guy had like 25 years of releases, and I was like, I'm gonna find like the hidden gems on these albums, and there are a lot of them. I put together a playlist that was like 75 songs long of things that you've never heard, Prince songs you've never heard, and every one of them is a fucking groove.
Really?
It's just like when they've got that much bulk, that much material, as it's coming out, it's easy to be like, there's another one. Yeah, that's true.
But
then the guy dies, and you wait a couple of years, and you go back, and you're like, oh, Prince, I did you dirty.
Oh, and I see what you mean.
Yeah.
And there are plenty more. I'm sure there's plenty more in the archives. They could keep coming out without. I heard there was a moment at which he was like, I could come out with an album a year for the next 500 years. I have so much shit.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, I got this like, they released a Sign of the Times box set with like 7 records of studio or vault tracks, and they're like, I mean, you could put together a good like 3 classic albums out of these vault tracks that no one has ever heard before. But it's like it's the volume, you know. It's like I feel like Elvis is a victim of volume. He puts out so much stuff, and when you're doing it, like it's easy to be, 18 and listen to this record from 1972 and being like, oh, that's fucking great, it's amazing, and then the album comes out at that age and you're like, it's not as good as that one from 72. But then 18 years later, your son is listening to that record from when you were 18 and he's like, it's brilliant, it's great, you know. The past always has like a rosier tint.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that was true until 1979. At which point it just became the present forever.
In 1979, everything just remained forever. Wait, explain that.
It is impossible to be nostalgic for anything past 1979.
Oh, really?
Past the election of Ronald Reagan.
There's nothing nostalgic to you about Ghostbusters or Back to the Future?
Yeah, that's all just movies that are probably still playing in the movie theater, aren't they?
Yeah, but then what's your definition of nostalgia? I mean, no, they're not playing in the movie theater, Brendan.
They finished their runs? Well, I could probably go get them at the video store, though.
You could certainly go get them.
I'm sure they have tons
at your
of
local
copies
Blockbuster,
at the Video Max.
Yes. If you went to Video Max, on Tuesdays, they have 2 for $1.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter when I rent it because I'm definitely going to owe $20 every time.
I would owe money to my college library that was in on the first floor of my dorm. Like all I had to do was walk down there and hand them the video.
You walked past it to leave.
Yeah, I had to go to get breakfast every morning. I had to walk past it, and I'd end up owing them money.
Wait,
somehow.
You could borrow videos from your college library?
Yes, you could, my friend.
Oh, I should have gone to a real college.
Yeah, you should have gone to a real college instead of that shithole you went to.
Shithole.
I can't find my document. I want to get into our segments.
Oh, do you want to look at mine?
I don't want to look at yours. Newspapers.
Newspapers.
Shall we get?
Oh, let's talk about newspapers. Do you have yours? It's right there.
Yes, I got it.
Okay.
Good.
Newspapers.
A lot of stuff going on over here, over there. We're gonna tell you about the world, cause the world is important. Newspapers. We peep the news.
Okay, so here's where we're at. It is
to me.
Today. It is November.
I don't know, 18th or 19th
18th,
or something.
19th in the year
20th.
of our Lord.
Yeah, 2000 something.
Whatever. It's always the year of our Lord, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, same right here. Right. Amen, brother.
Right?
Right.
WWJD, brother?
WWMJD.
Oh, hey.
Moses?
Moses Jackson do?
What would Moses Jackson do?
Yeah, what would Moses? I always wonder what's Moses up to. Moses Jackson. Okay, so this guy Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh,
This kid.
this little turd.
This kid.
Yep.
Yeah, this little chunky monkey.
This little chunker who decided that life is a fucking video game.
It's a
a
lark.
You know that guy has a spoiler on his fucking bullshit car.
Oh, for
Get
sure.
a Camry with a spoiler on it.
Or whistle tips. The
Whistles
whistles go woo.
Oh, he's got whistle.
Yeah.
Let's go woo woo. It's got whistle tips.
Yeah.
And he does donuts when everyone's trying to sleep.
This guy.
This guy. He looks at life and he's like, I am the main character.
I'm gonna revise that a little bit because what you're kind of describing as a badass, and this kid is like a fucking
I'm not
reject of.
Oh
like,
yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I see people who have, with the exception of Bub Rub,
yeah, of course, and Lil Sis.
sis. I see anyone who fucking does donuts while everyone's trying to sleep and does the things is nothing but 100% losers.
Oh, sure. They're losers. I'm just saying, there's something about this kid where, like, I went to school with this kid. Like, he's like not. He's not the king of the school. He's not like the guy who's going out like in my school. Like, yeah, they're losers, but they're like doing donuts and they're kind of cool. Like that's kind of,
I see. Yeah,
you know, it's a little bit badass.
It drives you crazy, but they do know how to do a donut. That kind of thing.
They do know how to party.
Oh, I see.
But
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
But let's see. But let's merge the two people in our minds who Brendan is describing, and the fella I'm thinking about.
I picture him yelling at his mom for his dinner being cold, even though he's the one that was playing video games for too long.
Yes.
Or yelling at his mom when she walks in on him while he's abusing himself.
Right.
And she's like, "Get the fuck out of here, mom!" You know, he's just a little.
He's a little dick.
A little dick.
Yeah,
exactly.
he's a little dick.
And he went looking for trouble, and he fucking found it.
As part of a fucking white power militia.
Exactly.
Like, somehow that doesn't get mentioned.
Yeah.
He, like, goes out with his militia buddies with a gun to, like, protect the TJ Maxx in a different city.
Right. In a different state.
Yeah, in a different state. His mom drives him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's like, "Go get those lefties."
How about they let him go and they put his mom in jail for life?
I think that's a great idea.
That
Whatever
would send
sentence
an amazing message.
is mom is what. Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
But so anyway, this kid is on trial this week or the last couple of weeks, and the judge is just a fucking like disaster. Like
What?
I've never seen like someone trying harder to like get a defendant like from having to go to jail, right?
Yep.
But the thing that everyone's worried about, here's my hot take, here's my newspapers, is that this is going to like cause, like he's going to get out or he's going to go free. And now vigilantes are going to be empowered and there's going to be like this slew of vigilante killings. That's what people think. Mm-hmm. I disagree.
Really?
I think we are already in the midst of a slew of vigilante killings. I think George Zimmerman went free. I think it's fine in America to be a vigilante. No one needs an excuse to be a vigilante in America.
That's a good point.
I think after Kyle Rittenhouse goes free, things will just continue exactly the same way they always have.
As opposed to being ratcheted up. You don't think this is going to be a green light for all those right-wing fuckos to start killing liberals?
No, I don't, because I'll tell you why. I mean, maybe for a spell, maybe one guy will be inspired by Kyle Rittenhouse and he'll go like shooting someone, but that guy's still got to face the law and he's not going to be in the same courtroom that Kyle Rittenhouse was necessarily. Uh-huh. So it's like, it's not like it's not precedent. It's not legal precedent that we're setting here. Mm-hmm. So yeah, maybe there will be a couple of guys who will be like, oh, now I can go to, but I mean, even the conditions around it, like, you know, there would have to be a giant protest again somewhere. And you would have to like, I don't think a guy just going out on the street and shooting someone in the face is going to be like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Kyle Rittenhouse precedent will let that guy go free. But I just feel like it's like to think that there's going to be, all of these people with all of these opportunities to start slaughtering people after this particular this particular verdict. I don't believe is going to happen.
I want you to be right, because for me, this trial has been it's been clear to me that this is a referendum on American shittiness.
Okay.
And for the last several years, there has been a movement, a groundswell to defend the right to be shitty to other people.
Yes, that's true.
Which actually has been a thread running through the United States from the beginning. That there's a cruelty in an old West, every man for himself, dog eat dog, thread that runs very strong in this country, and it and it comes down to this meme that I sent you about Russian literature, French literature, English literature. The English will die for honor, the French will die for love, Americans will die for freedom, and Russians will just die.
Yeah.
So freedom is such an obsession in this particular country, and the people who came here, the people who immigrated here, including our ancestors, immigrated here to fucking make money amidst the gunfire.
Okay.
We didn't know it. We were just born here, but we're signing up for the old West, vigilante justice,
right? And
get that money.
That's
like
war
the theme
profiteering.
War profiteering.
Yeah.
That is the unfortunate soul. I mean, there's another half of this whole story, of course, or goodness or whatever. But what really seems to be overwhelming right now is the right has its 60s, its dumb, stupid 60s, is we are in the midst of just a swelling, engorged bloodlust on the part of the credulous.
Sure, that's true. Yeah, I don't discount that. But I don't know that Kyle Rittenhouse going to jail or not going to jail is going to affect that much to me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's just going to keep going at its same fucking horrible pace either way.
Oh God!
And maybe even if he does go to jail, it may get ramped up.
Oh, interesting.
I feel like that may be more of the catalyst than him going free.
Mm-hmm.
Like he goes free, a bunch of rednecks are just going to shoot their guns in the air and then drink themselves into a coma that night.
And Matt Getz hires him as an intern in the House of Representatives.
Oh, that would just be amazing.
Yeah.
Is that guy? I guess it's okay to just be a pedophile now.
That's the thing? Yeah,
is that how it
we're
is?
going back to there not being any laws.
Yeah.
For Republicans. There are plenty
Right.
of laws for Democrats.
Yeah. I read something about the Kyle Rittenhouse thing that a thread that I really identified with and believed that was just that Republicans can't see that they would ever be the offender. Like they're like self-defense, no matter what's happening, they show up at a protest with a gun and people get spooked and try to take their gun and they're defending themselves.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
It's like that. Like it's so absurd on its face that you go somewhere with a goddamn fucking submachine gun and walk around and somehow you're the victim.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
I can't, my brain doesn't work that way.
It all comes, I've said this on the air before, but it all comes down to this. This is how they see the world. There should be in-groups that are protected by the law but not bound by it.
Yeah.
And there should be out-groups that are bound by the law but not protected by it. That's how they see the world.
In groups that are protected by the law but not bound by it.
That's
those
them.
are them. That's them. And out groups that are bound by the law but not protected by it. Oh, there you go. Yes, that's true.
it. That is their logic.
Yeah.
How they see the world.
Yeah, that is true. And it's chilling. It's chilling.
Chilling.
They think we could go Rwanda in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Any minute now. Mm-hmm. What's your newspapers, bro?
Oh, my newspapers, I think, was something along those lines, but it's very dark. And I almost to the point where I feel like, should we even be talking about this? Because I took a bit of a news
Sabbatical?
diet, a news sabbatical. After Trump was elected, I had to, for my own goddamn sanity, after 4 years of doom scrolling, I had to back off.
Yeah. You're not alone.
And I just had to
Americans
have
in
my
general,
life.
I've read, have like all of the ratings are down, all of the news consumption is down right now.
I can imagine, because it was just too exhausting for too long. And I've had some friends who now of all times became kind of activated, and I think, and I'm like, good on you, that's fantastic. And they're trying to recruit, like, hey, so we did $50 because we need to do the thing with the whatever. Like they're all organizing and really getting ramped up right now, and I'm like, go. But I cannot bring myself to, or I've had a very hard time bringing myself to be present for that kind of thing, because it is so it has been so damaging to be an American for the last 4 years.
Yeah. There was no period of mourning either. It's just like all of a sudden
we go.
And that's another reason why I think there's so much like anger towards Biden right now, is because like we had this 4 years where just like it was just nonstop brutality and there was nothing we could do about it. And now we're all like coming out of this tornado and we're like, who put us in that tornado? That guy.
Yeah. Yes.
Go get him.
Get him.
Yeah.
Right. And the existence of Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin is so depressing.
Yeah.
And so upsetting that I would say, I still read the news every day, but there's no joy in it. Not that there has been for 5 years.
Yeah.
Or there ever is.
Forever.
There's something has been broken in me
Yeah.
that can't be fixed. And now with Republican redistricting and things like that, and the foregone conclusion about 2022 and then 2024 and the next Trump is going to be smart. Like all of this makes me feel filled with despair.
Yeah, it's despairing.
And add to that, the Democrats speak in fine print, and they aren't seizing this moment. This is their last chance to do something different than their fucking stupid playbook, and they're not doing anything with it. And so instead, and so they're just they have terrible messaging, and they always have. I saw a guy on TikTok say, what they should be saying is the Republicans want you to be paying the taxes for the billionaires.
Sure.
The Republicans want you to pay the billionaires' taxes.
Yeah, that's a good message.
Isn't that a good message?
Yeah.
Do you think any Democrat would say that? Well, we grouped it with centrist, like basically Republicans, then didn't like it, and then it's over. I mean, there are a couple like Bernie and Warren, but like it's just it doesn't break through, and there's still no like they don't have that. I mean, Bernie does. But there's just like that lack of magnetism where the press is like, oh, I have to see what so-and-so is saying. Mm-hmm. I feel like AOC has that. Yeah. Like AOC says it, and she gets a lot of shit from a lot of people, and fuck them, because that's what they should all be doing. Exactly. Exactly right. But, yeah, no, I hear you, man. Like the other day, so there's this thing, Paul Gosar sent out this tweet where it was like a cartoon of him like beheading Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or whatever. Mm-hmm. And last night I heard they censured him yesterday. They did. And I heard Nancy Pelosi talking about it, and she was like, this is not the House of Representatives must not be sullied in this manner. Like she had this thing about it. And it's like, even that, like, no one gives a shit about whether or not the House of Representatives is sullied. Like, what you need to do is say, you don't fucking do that shit at work. Yeah. You don't do that shit to your colleagues. Yes. You couldn't do it. Like, they never talk to the layman. They never make the layman feel the same feelings that they're feeling. You know what I mean? Yeah. They like are always up here, but like their message would be so much more appealing to the layman than the Republicans' message if they just said it properly. If they say exactly, they're the ones who are like, well, we don't want to be like them. No, and it's like, but you're not being like anybody now. Yeah, you're just not being. Yeah, you're being not like, existing. It's so hard, man. There's like so many just wimpy sounding Democrats. I hear them on news shows, and they're always very like well spoken, and it's just like. Like even like I think Adam what's his name, the guy who led the impeachment trial, Adam Schiff, like I think that guy's super smart, and he's like smart. Had really eloquent things to say, and I appreciate his eloquence, but like sometimes you just gotta get a little fucking fire up your ass. You know what I mean? Yes. Like and sometimes there's gotta be blood on the floor. Yes. Stop taking patchouli to a knife fight, Democratic Party. Yes. Like you can have your Adam Schiff. But then, like, all the other, like, whatever, 35 losers whose names you don't even know, like, let them be the fucking, like, defense line. Let them be, like, the, fucking bulked up, like, ass-kicking weirdos, you know? Like, let them go out there and do something instead of, it's just, like, one fucking weakling after another. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Do you remember the movie Lucas with Corey Haim? Of course. He is the Democratic Party. Oh, yeah? And he's all of those succeeded, Democrats. Though, didn't he? Did he in the end? Was it Corey Haim or Corey Feldman? It was Corey Haim. Corey Haim. God rest his soul. I think. Was she in there? Ryder, that girl? Movie meant a lot to me. I remember liking it quite a bit. Mm-hmm. It was he had asthma or something. I'm sure, and he's a big old nerd and all that. Yeah, that was just funny because he was the far sexier of the Coreys. That is, I agree with that. Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. If I were to rank the Coreys in terms of sex appeal, and in terms of acting ability, I'm going to go with Feldman. Though he turned in some good performances. In Goonies, he was really quite wonderful. He taught me to be a smartass with his performance of Goonies. Oh yeah. And then there's Corey Hart. Whose eyes I've never seen. Sunglasses at night. Yeah, well, because he never took his sunglasses. I don't know if we know anything more about Corey Hart other than that he wore his sunglasses at night. Mm-hmm. You know what's weird, man? I don't know how much your son has gotten into the YouTube world. Maybe you not at all haven't allowed him to go there. No. Good on you. You're a better parent than I am. He just browses on Amazon. Okay. Well, that's good. That's fine. You're raising a little capitalist. Yeah, big time. He's doing drop shipping. Nice. I love it. So I never would I have imagined that the artist from our generation that my children would know better than any other artist would be Rick Astley. Oh, of course.
because they know about Rick-rolling.
Rick-rolling, yeah.
And it's the funniest thing in the world to them. And so, like, they're constantly singing Rick Astley songs.
I saw a guy on the internet got a QR code tattooed to his calf.
Oh, God.
And,
okay.
and it sends you to that video.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is pretty great.
Wow. That's a bold move.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to our next? Was that your thing? Just like how much you hate, how sad you are and depressed about politics?
Let's see. What did I write here? I wrote, sorry. Luckily, be too big to. I think. Oh yeah, I was sort of thinking like after 2024, like we all need to have an exit. I don't want to talk about this because it makes me depressed, but we all kind of need to have an exit strategy.
Yeah.
Like it almost feels like we always knew the future would be dystopian. We saw every Philip K. Dick iteration in our childhood, and we're like, oh, okay, so the future's definitely going to suck, and there'll be robots who want to eat us. And I think that process has already begun, and we will never go back to things as they were in 2015.
Probably not. Yeah.
2015 was our last year that wasn't full of world pain, and that makes me sad on a number of levels. And so then I was like, so I don't know. I'm reading this book. The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde, and some of it takes place in the Dominican Republic under Trujillo, who is a terrible, terrible dictator. And I'm thinking, like, Jesus Christ! Thank God we are such a large country that a Latin American flavored dictatorship probably won't happen here. But nonetheless, I'm still like, if you live in the American South and you aren't one of these fucking crypto fascist zombies, get out.
Yeah, get out.
Come
get
to get. We will put you up in California. We'll establish some sort of like safe route and safe houses, a network of safe houses. Get the Democrats out of those states before they are exterminated.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I'm kind of worried about California though too. I mean, I feel like they've got this national plan, and we've been Republican before. We were a Republican stronghold, until the 80s or the 90s, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, man. Who knows where we're headed?
Hopefully, Trump lost the Latino vote for a generation with the wall and everything. Hopefully.
I don't know. I feel like Latinos, like they voted for him in higher numbers in 2020 than 2016.
Motherfucker. That's some fucked up
No
shit.
one, everyone just wants, no one cares about policy. No one cares what, like, they just want you to be like kind of funny.
That you're right. You are absolutely correct. Which is why AOC is fucking awesome.
Yeah, totally. Well, which is why I think Al Franken is our best fucking contender.
Oh,
like,
he needs to come back.
Just come back. Like, why?
We
come
forgive
back.
you for whatever happened by where you brushed the lady's butt
brushing someone's ass
Yeah.
with your
during
fingers.
a photo.
I don't know. Maybe he's a creep, but he's a fucking whip smart creep who could make any of those Republicans look like complete idiots.
Amen, brother.
Like he can run rings around those guys, and that's all anyone wants.
That's all we want is like the Jon Stewart equivalents.
Yes.
In the
Bill Burr could run for president.
Oh, that'd be great.
Bill Burr would win in a heartbeat.
Yeah, he would. I'm gonna text him that tonight.
Tell him that. Tell him we were talking about it on Dad Jeans, and then say, "Why the fuck haven't you been on Dad Jeans yet, Mr. Bill Burr?"
He'll be like, "What?
He'll be like, "I don't even know what that is because you've literally never talked to me about it, Brendan."
Right.
Okay, let's move into our next
segment.
segment.
And who is this? I took you off my phone. And
Okay,
like,
well,
we haven't
that's
seen
it.
each other in a while. Sorry.
Yeah,
about
he
that.
doesn't know who you are.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move into our next segment, which is a True Daddy Confession.
Oh, True Daddy
1, 2,
Confessions.
3. Oh no! What's Daddy been thinking? Oh no! What's Daddy been drinking? True Daddy Confession.
Brendan, let me just tell you something.
Bring it to me.
You may have said something like this a few weeks ago. I vaguely remember it, but this is something that's just been plaguing me lately. And with two kids, it's
Quantum.
I mean, I don't know what it's like to have one kid. I don't know what that is anymore. It's been a long time since that was the case.
It's almost like being a dink.
Oh, really? You feel like you can just do whatever the fuck you want to?
He's on a reading jag.
Yeah.
I brought him home
that's
from
amazing.
school, and I was like, I'm going to take a nap, and
Yeah.
I took a 20-minute nap, and he just read.
I don't know what to do about that. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
That's some impressive mojo. That is not happening with my children. Well, no, Hazel's fine. Hazel does whatever Hazel wants to do. But I'm just tired of being like like this parenting thing. I mean, you do it with him, with one kid too. It's just like I have to be so level-headed about navigating emotions. Oh, like I am constantly. There is like, I mean, Eli is just like an unpredictable ball of emotion. Like he could go from gleeful to like distraught in the space of a couple of words.
Is that what the word mercurial describes?
Oh, I don't know, but I like that word.
Suddenly, like given
mercurial.
to sudden emotion shifts.
He's just a drama queen, man. Just like everything is the worst thing that's ever happened to him. And every night there's like, we were sitting at dinner tonight and it was just like everything that happened, it was like he was just looking for us to put him to like guide him into this place where he could be like offended and wounded.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And I'm just like, God, fucking, this is every minute of every day I'm navigating these emotions. And between two different kids, like, you know, Hazel is not like super emotional. Hazel's pretty mature in many ways, you know, and so I don't have to navigate it. But Hazel is like, as mature as Hazel is, like, it's fucking irritating to have to be dealing with this little kid who's going through these crazy emotions all the time, you know? So like Hazel gets irritated by it, and Hazel doesn't need to be the adult in the situation, you know, but I do. I always have to be the adult in the situation.
Yes.
And it's just like, I'm just so sick of navigating everyone's emotional states.
And you have to be the Dalai Lama the whole time.
Yes.
You have to be this sort of blessed, enlightened
Yes.
being that it can't be thrown or triggered. In
I mean,
any
I
way.
don't have to be. I could be an abusive father, which lots of people are.
Which
and
90% of them are.
Exactly, because like most people are not equipped to handle this shit. Like
Right.
most people are just like, shut the fuck up. There's nothing wrong with you. You
Yeah.
know, like,
Yeah.
and the kid cries and they run off to their bedroom and then daddy drinks his beer and everyone's happy.
I don't need this today.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm
Something.
I was going to make up some scenario.
Biden in the White House.
Yeah, exactly. With this fucking Brandon up here. Let's go, Brandon. Kick your ass. Yeah. Then I'd go head out with my militia. That's why there's all these militia groups, because all these people have to navigate their children's emotional needs.
Yep, exactly. Or like the dads get scary. When the kids get
Yes.
emotional, the dads get scary.
Yes. And then the kids learn to suppress their emotions. And
Right.
it's probably easier for the dad, but then the kid hates them growing up, and you know,
It's a whole thing.
And,
And
it's
then
a
the
whole
kid,
thing.
and then they become a terrible roommate. Like their roommate will leave a spoon in the sink, and they're like, "Why the fuck is there a spoon in the sink?" To their 24-year-old roommate.
Oh, I do that. That was me. That was me. You just described me. Oh, Jesus. No, I got to backpedal on this.
But look at you. You're interrupting the cycle in that case.
No, I still, if my kids leave a spoon in the sink, I'm like, why the fuck is there a spoon in the sink?
Okay, so you're not interrupting the cycle.
I am the cycle.
I am the cycle.
cycle. No, you know what I mean, though, man.
I
It's
know
just
what you
like,
mean, dude.
It's just like fucking. It's
And
so
it's
much
exhausting.
work to have to deal with emotions
Yes.
all the time.
Yes.
And like you claim to not be an emotional person. Like I'm not emotional, but like I feel like I'm okay with emotion. I'm not like anti-emotion or anything. You know, I wish I could just be the Dalai Lama. Like I'm
That'd be
affected
nice.
by it. I am. I read something recently that like most people only know 3 emotions: happiness, sadness, and anger.
Oh, sad, glad, and mad.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, I am a little bit emotional in that I have 3 emotions, and they are kind of sad, kind of glad, kind of mad.
Oh, see. Okay, there you go. But there's more nuance. You know, ennui.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
Is that
If
an
you know-
emotion?
if you know ennui, then brother, you got them all.
That's the gateway to the entire emotional
gateway.
world.
Oh yeah, you just have to be a little bit more French.
I sat down with a gifted therapist in my beginning of my therapy career, and she said, "I'm not here to make you feel better. I'm here to make you feel more."
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Then she moved to Boston.
Oh, and you felt more, didn't you?
I felt more.
Wow. And did it work?
She left me completely dilated.
Did it work? Your asshole has not contracted since.
Nope, my emotional asshole. Anyway.
Tight as a button.
I know that of which you speak in a major way, and I really struggle with myself.
Yeah.
This kind of thing where I'm like, here it comes. I have to be level headed right now.
Right.
I have to think a long game. I have to say the brilliant thing that dads always say in movies. I can't think of it. They always say the perfect thing.
Sure.
I am completely screwing this one up.
Oh, because you can't anything you say. Like that was my tonight. I was just like, Eli, man, I feel like you got me backed into a corner, dude. Like I can't say anything right now. Like no matter what I say, you're like just looking for the reason that it's going to upset you. And then he's like, "Wah!"
See, that's great. I mean, I think even saying that kind of thing is very put together because it gives him the information he needs to function as an adult in the emotional world. I have already slipped. I feel terrible about this, but I have already slipped into things like, Oscar, don't take advantage of my good nature.
Wow.
You are mocking me, right? Or something like that. Or like, don't mock me. Because he sort of picks on me because he is my alcoholic stepfather.
Yeah.
The roles have reversed. And he even taunts me. Like today, he was like,
Stop pushing me. Stop pushing me, Oscar.
Exactly right. They'll be like, well, you're the son and I'm the dad. He said that at one point, and I was like, oh, God,
Oh, no.
I've already lost.
Oh, boy.
I've already lost.
Oh, boy.
It's rough.
They know how to drill into your weakest parts somehow.
Parenthood shows you precisely how weak you are.
Oh, that's accurate, man.
This is what I've discovered about parenthood.
Accurate. Sarah and I just like can't fucking hold a line to like save our lives.
Oh,
like,
no, me neither.
what are you supposed? How are you supposed to do that when it's a everyday thing? Like, who's got that will to just like keep going amidst this constant like barrage of tiny fists?
Yes. And here's the thing. This is the thing, though. Here's the thing. Anyone who listens to us who doesn't have kids for some reason, I don't know what the fuck you're listening to us for, but welcome. We really, really love to have you here.
Yeah.
And if your impression after this conversation is that it's just a matter of being assertive, and willful with your children, and then everything will be fine, I wish that were true. I could absolutely.
I thought it was when I was a kid. I was like, or no, when I was a kid, when we first had the kids, and they were like too small and malleable to like take advantage of us. I was just like, oh, this is a piece of cake. Like I know the rules.
Yes, exactly. Then you online, they're always like, just talk to your child, tell him, reason with your child. No. None of that shit works. You can't assertive your way out of a problem. You can't be more willful than them. You could try, and you can't fucking reason with these irrational motherfuckers. The problem that you and I are facing that we're not talking about is that it is 4D Sudoku.
Right.
Trying to say like everything I say will scar this child right now. Like they're saying I can think of 4 appropriate things that are loving to say right now.
Yeah.
All of which A will scar them for life anyway.
Right.
And B will make my life a fucking living hell when this comes back up later.
Absolutely.
And C will make me lose respect for myself.
Yes, all 3 of them. And ually all 3.
Usually all 3.
Yes.
Exactly. So there's sometimes you can find that silver bullet that shoots through the 4D Sudoku cube of parenthood where that somehow there is the right thing to have said and somehow it fucking fell out of your mouth. And then they're like, I don't know. Well, you can still go fuck yourself, and they go to their bed, and tomorrow you actually have a weirdly good day.
I think, I think there are 2 options to get out of it, neither of which I've quite grasped. But number 1 is just to be completely stoic. Like, I feel like if you're just stoic and you're like, yes, that's how you're feeling. Yeah, all right. That's a good lad. Like
I made my leg a Volin.
Yeah, if you could just handle that, then I think eventually they just like give up. Or the other option is to be more irritating than they are.
Yeah.
Just be like bugging them all the time. And then they're just like, okay, fine. Just go,
leave
Dad.
me alone.
Go away. Yes.
Right. And this other time when I was in college.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Wait, let me just tell you this one last story.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hey, are you awake?
Yeah.
I just thought of one last thing.
Yeah. That could work.
I will say this. We got a therapist for Oscar.
Okay.
And he meets with her every Wednesday.
Any particular reason, or just teaching him good
It's mostly preventative.
life skills?
Yeah, it's mostly preventative, but also I think the problem is when you share a family with somebody else and you're like it's a parent to child relationship. There are certain things that I can't help him with psychologically,
Yes.
because one does
trigger
battle
things
with
within
one's
you.
parent. This is war always
Sure.
between you and your parents. It's just there is always this tension, and no amount of sage advice will get all the way through to him
Right.
because he is in the process of differentiating from me at all
Yeah.
times. As
you
he
need
should
a third
be.
party to.
You need a third party,
Yeah.
to do
Agreed.
certain things. And so I have noticed that what she does, and it's fucking brilliant. You would think it's babyish, but it isn't. Is like they Zoom for 45 minutes every Wednesday.
Okay.
Is she like the moment she sees him, he's like, hey, and she's like, hey, Oscar, oh, you're wearing a green shirt. He's like, yeah, did you pick it out yourself? Yeah, I dressed myself. Oh, really? Do you dress yourself every day? And then he's like, yeah. And then he picks up a pencil, and she's like, you're holding a pencil. And what she does,
She observes.
she observes, and she keeps saying things that he's doing and making him feel very, very seen. Over and over again, just scene.
I like that.
And at first I was like, fuck is she doing?
Right.
Because it's not grown-up therapy.
Right.
And I'm not in the room for most of it. I set them up and then I leave, so I only pick up on the first couple minutes. But he's been doing it for 5 or 6 months.
Yeah.
And it is awesome. Like,
Really?
it has changed his personality completely.
Really?
Where he still gets angry and pissed off.
Yeah.
But he also recovers and nothing sticks, Like he used to have, until he started therapy, he had massive meltdowns. And he would say scary shit. Like, I want to die, I want you to die, all this kind of big dramatic stuff.
Eli has that too.
Yeah. And
I always just chalked it up to the age.
I'm sure.
Like it's very like, they're in a weird like fatality, like larger than life sort of era, and they don't quite get it, but it's also like, but maybe it's something to be concerned about.
I don't know. That's a good question. Well, I and this actually goes to my True Daddy confession, am indeed a victim of that kind of stuff. I just have so much anxiety that I'm like, oh my God, is that something to be concerned about? And then of course you talk to her and she's like, no, it's not. Like we had a parent teacher conference and I was like, he's an only child. Is he going to be okay?
Right.
And he's like, yeah, he's fine. I mean, I know some only children like keep to themselves a little bit. They turn out fine.
Yeah.
And he's not even like that. So
Right.
he's fine. And he's like, and he has plenty of friends and he's going to be totally fine. And I'm like, okay. Will you tell me that again next time?
Well, that's caring.
Yeah.
That's consideration
On the teacher's part?
on your part.
Oh, on my part. Yeah.
You care.
I care. Yeah, I care. I don't, but I care.
You
okay.
fear.
Okay. So here goes.
Okay.
Here comes my True Daddy goddamn confession. Okay. Do I care
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
do I over-identify?
Oh, sure.
I'll give you a hint. It begins with an O.
Right. But what does that mean to you? Like you're when you over-identify with him, like you fear that you're going to like he's gonna carry the same trappings that you carry with you
Yes,
into adulthood.
and he will suffer the way I suffered.
I see.
Or that he's suffering on a level like I grade him on an adult scale. And so if children can be so fucking cruel. And so if he were being as cruel as everyone, if other people were being as cruel to him, if other people were being as cruel to me as I observe sometimes children be cruel to him,
Yeah.
I would launch lawsuits. I would move countries.
Right.
But children live in a fucking brutal world, world of nonstop cruelty, and it rolls off their backs.
No, that's true. Like Eli will come home and be like, somebody told me I had the ugly face today.
Jesus Christ.
Like stuff like that. And you're just like, if someone told me I had an ugly face, like I feel like I would just go home and blow my brains out.
I want to say this, Jeffrey, you and your son are both lookers.
Oh, thank you, Brendan. I apprate that. I'm a little creeped out by the fact that
Really good looking.
Yeah.
So listen, here's
I'd take either one of you.
Here's my true daddy confession.
Okay, please.
I spend much more time perseverating about failing Oscar as a parent than I do actually engaging him as a parent.
Okay. Like you're putting more energy into the meta conversation about Oscar rather than the physical manifestation of him that's right in front of you.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. When he's not with me, I worry constantly about the ways that I'm failing him.
Yeah.
And when he is with me, I'm distracted all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm distracted by the project of failing him.
Yeah.
So this morning
Right.
we were walking to school, and he is a lollygag. He is a world-class lollygagger.
Okay.
He must be 20 paces behind me at all times.
I would just
There's no
drop kick that kid through the window.
quick
Couldn't handle
sidebar.
it. Yeah.
My dad was a milkman on Cape Cod in
that's
summers during college.
that's like the first verse of a
Of a
Bruce Springsteen
Kingston
song.
Trio song. I was gonna say, yeah. And so he was a milkman on Cape Cod, and one of the houses on his route was the Kennedy compound.
Okay.
And Rose Kennedy took quite a shine to him and would pinch him on the cheeks and give him a little extra money when he was going back to school for the semester and all that.
Wow.
And one day he was delivering milk, and one of Bobby Kennedy's kids beamed him in the head with a rock.
Oh, geez.
And Bobby kicked the kid
What?
over a set of hedges.
What? How have you never told us the story?
Can you believe
What?
that? Yeah.
What? He was defending the milkman, the honor of the milkman.
Defending the Milkman, which is the
Wow.
forthcoming title of my new novel, I guess.
Absolutely. Wow.
Yeah.
And then when he comes back from the dead and reveals himself to be Donald Trump's surrogate husband.
Those Kennedys would have loved Trump.
Yeah, they probably would have.
Yeah, because he's so upper class like them.
He's good. Yeah, he's good like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're saying is you're either way you're damaging your child. Like it's not like you're taking advantage. You're like learning from your mistakes, and while he's gone, you're like, okay, I'm going to be a better man, and then he comes back, and instead of like doing the better man thing, then you're just thinking about how you're fucking it up the whole time.
Yeah, I'm still in the future. I'm still like getting notifications. I'm still doing all like I had to take a nap when I got him home from school today, as I
course you did.
reported earlier.
Of course
as
you
opposed
did.
to be like, want to play checkers? You know what I mean? Although he would have been like, go fuck yourself. I'm reading Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So
So you've already missed a window, is what you're saying.
yeah. Oh God, that almost makes me want to cry because yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
I'm finally now mature enough to be the dad he needs at the moment he's born.
Sure.
8 years late,
Yeah.
and it's too late.
Yeah.
It took being his dad for 8 years to get to the point of maturity where now I can actually look him in the eye and engage with him. Like I feel like we're making eye contact and having conversations for the first time in my life as of like 7 weeks ago.
Well, see, this is why you have a second child and you have them spaced out at a proper distance so that the second one is completely well adjusted, and then the older one's just
I
fucked
would
up.
nail a second child right
Yeah,
now.
you'd-
So let me
Brendan?
tell you a heartwarming story. We're walking to school today, and he's lollygagging, and he picks up this rock, and he's
And you're
just sort
thinking about nailing your second child.
oh, is that what Let me rephrase that.
Okay.
So he's got this rock that he's sort of playing with or something. And we walk to school every day, and it's over a really steep hill. And so we get to the bottom of the steep part, and he's like, escalator, which is the part at which we grab hands and I drag him up the hill.
Okay.
And I was playing with him, and I was yanking my hand out of his hand and be like, oh, you're going to give my hand. And I'm being
Right.
playful.
Yeah.
And he dropped the rock.
Okay.
And then he couldn't find it.
Oh,
and he
jeez.
was like, yeah, it's your fault. Why did you make me drop the rock? Yeah. And then he's crying.
thing
and
that's rock
it's a
now.
whole thing that's rock now, right?
Yeah.
So we go. I'm like, I'm sorry, Oscar, we're going to be late for school. We stopped. We looked for it for a little bit because I'm a fucking pussy.
Sure.
And I don't draw boundaries. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, let's stop everything and look. And I help him look.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, Oscar, we got to get to school. We're going to be late. And so he's like, he's really mad. It takes us almost the rest of the while. We just aren't getting along the rest of the day, the rest of the time. And it wasn't my fault. The fucking rock thing. I wasn't looking back. I was trying to pull him, and he dropped.
And you were trying to have fun. You were trying to do the right thing.
Yeah,
You were
yeah,
trying
exactly.
to do the
Yeah, classic. And so, and at one point I said, Oscar, when things go wrong, don't look for someone to blame. That's a bad habit. And
Yeah.
I don't know if that's very early. It probably is, but that came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
And so anyway, we get to school, and this interesting thing happens. And we say goodbye, and he walks through the fence, and usually it's very unceremonious, and he just walks in and doesn't say goodbye or whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
bye, and he's like, and he waves or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
But today he walked in, and it was a normal, and he's like, bye, Dad. Like we hadn't been getting along, and he said bye, and I was like, oh. Bye.
You're like, I got through to him.
Yeah, maybe. Or I was like, oh, my high school crush said bye to me. Bye, because I'm totally
geez.
fucking over-identifying and being a boundaryless pussy. Anyway, so then I get home and I sit down and I'm like, I have a big full day of work. I got to start doing the thing. But then that fucking rock started to bother me.
Oh, God. Don't tell me you went looking for the rock.
I went looking for the rock.
You went back?
Yeah.
You went back to find the rock.
Yeah, I did.
What was special about this rock?
Well, so I found it.
Oh, my God.
And-
you knew what the rock was?
Well, I could tell by that when I saw it because it's opalescent and pink.
Okay.
And
that sounds like a pretty nice
It's,
rock.
it's kind of an awesome rock. I have to give it to it. I understand why I'm so upset.
Yeah.
But I found I went up that half block and I just scanned the ground and I brought back 10 rocks.
Okay.
And I put them on the porch.
Yeah.
And then I brought them home and I was like, oh wait, I want to show you something on the porch. Are any of these your rock?
Yeah.
And he sifted through them and he found it and he was like, and he picked it up and he said, sorry, I yelled at you.
Okay.
So I managed to successfully guilt trip him.
Oh, good job. Good job. Well done. Well done.
And so, I could have told that story in the Hallmark fashion where I'm like, I go to look for the rock and we love each other. And he
Yeah.
said, bye, Dad. And that could be, every detail of that story could have been added up to a fucking Hallmark moment, including that last one.
Sure.
But there's a whole other version of this where all I did was tie us more psychologically together in this fucking codependent way that's
Sure.
fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And scarred for life because there's no right way to do this.
No. And the difference is your feelings about yourself. Like that, that story would tell me that you're not a narcissist, because a narcissist would tell that story as if you were the hero and you did this triumphant thing and you found the rock and then you came back and then that little fucker apologized to you. He learned the error of his ways. Like, no, you don't feel that. You're like, well, that's fucking kind of sad too that he has to apologize to me to make anything better. Like,
right, for having an emotion.
Pathetic. Right? Yeah, exactly. Like, I have that. Eli constantly will just he'll fly off the handle and then he'll come back and be like, I'm sorry, and hug me, like as if was gonna smack him or something. I'm just like, dude, no, man, this isn't healthy either. Right. That wasn't healthy. This isn't healthy.
Exactly.
God, man, I don't. This isn't what I'm asking for, and in anything, in any point of it, I don't want any of this.
We're a pig on a spit.
It's pig on a spit,
coming
man.
and going, man, in the
You're
mouth
right.
and in the butt.
There is no little ATM action with the children.
That's what it's like to be a parent. ATM.
ATM. Oh God, underage ATM. Don't, God, no. That's
Don't
not.
Google
that's
it.
not the name of this.
Don't Google.
That's
Mom,
not the
I don't
name
know
of
if you
this
listen to this,
episode.
Mom, but don't Google that. we're being automated teller machine.
Exactly. Yes, that's what we're.
But that's the thing, right? So every choice you make, is awful and scars your child.
Yes.
And every heartwarming story also scars your child.
If you approach it in that way, if you are a human who is concerned with emotions, then yes, that is accurate. But if you're just if you just don't care that much, then you don't care that much.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, they'll get therapy later. They'll deal with it themselves,
Yeah, and there's an argument for that.
Yeah, there is an argument for that.
Because-
It would make my life easier. But it's also we just came out of this fucking thing and we're still in it to a large degree where we're not back to normal. We're still, we're still trapped inside. I still am working from home and will be for the foreseeable future. And my wife is working from home and will be for the foreseeable future. And our kids are home most of the time, except when they have activities. And it's this last year, it just it did a number on all of us, man. It's there's been no reckoning and there will never be any reckoning. It's just this lost year.
Yeah.
Forever that will just be there and we're not supposed to think about it anymore.
Nope.
You know?
Exactly.
No one's going to ever help us. It's just what a depressing world. Let's move on to something fun.
Let's. I think that's a fine idea.
Okay. Maybe what's more fun? I think Spike Club is probably a little bit more fun.
Yeah, I have a very weak get off my lawn.
Okay. But I totally agree with you, get off my lawn. If you're saying that Pages is better than Word, because you're absolutely right, it is.
What I'm saying is, now that I deal with college age human beings, they all submit their papers in as Pages
It's so
documents.
much better than Word.
I'm sure
Word
it's
is a
better, but
nightmare.
what the fuck is Pages?
Well,
Like,
everything should be Google Docs. What are you doing?
or Google, well, also Google Doc, or make it a PDF, and they're like, make it a what? And I'm like,
Yeah, make
are
it
you
a PDF.
fucking kid? Yeah,
That's
they're-
fair.
Yeah, anyway,
Okay.
but anyway, so Pages is taking over Word. I hate Word.
Yeah.
but also I'm not ready for this.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I've moved on. Okay, so let's do Spike Club.
Spike Club.
I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! Spy Club! I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! Spy Club! Fuck!
Spike Club. Did you want to go first?
Oh, sure, I'll go first.
Yeah.
I had two.
Okay.
No, but I'll do the one that I'm
Do them
more-
both. We got a little bit of time.
Oh, you're very kind. Are you sure?
Yeah, dude.
How about I do one, you do one, I'll do my other one.
Oh, okay. Let's do that.
Okay, Jeff, here's the thing. Here's my Spike Club. And
Yeah.
let me preface this by saying present company excluded.
Okay, thank you.
I fucking hate being the only good communicator in the world.
Oh, yeah, that's true. There's a lot of bad communicators out there.
Well, it's specifically about like email again, like
Yeah.
we were talking about earlier.
Sure.
But also, these things go wrong all the time where I'm like, okay, I'll email you, and then the person, and then I email them, and then I never hear back. Or they're like, I'll email you. All these
Right.
things, like nothing ever works where the coordination happens,
Right.
or where it's like they're like, okay, I'll let you know, and then they don't let you know, and then you don't do the thing, and it looks like you fucked up because they didn't let you know.
Sure.
And then you're like, but should I have just done it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everyone else fucks up communicate this kind of stuff with me all the time, and Emily and I talk about this a lot. It's like we are the ones who are like hyper diligent about coordination and time and all that kind of stuff, and everyone else is like, oh, what year is it? I don't know. I'll see you whenever. You know.
That's especially bad in Los Angeles, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm somewhat guilty of it too. Like I feel like I will kind of. I'll flake. I take advantage of my position as an Angelino sometimes, and I'll just flake. I don't do it with people that I'm like. I don't do it with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain people where I'm just like, I don't want to do this, and then I'll just like flake on them because I don't want to really do anything with them, and I'm hoping it will just go away and get out of my life.
Oh yeah, the Angelino soft no. You've heard the whole thing of like in New York, fuck you can mean I love you, and in Los Angeles, I love you can mean fuck you.
Yeah. I would say that's true. That's accurate.
Yeah.
I hear what you mean, man. I know what you mean. I mean, for me, it's work. Like that is anyone. I feel like I'm very responsible about communication at work, like more so than I need to be in my job. Like,
Thank you.
there should be. You're welcome. Like I feel like it is not my responsibility to be the guy who's communicating everything, but I just feel I have to. Like I always have to be available.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have to.
to like answer the question and to
Everyone has to, but no one does except for me, you now, and
Thank you.
Emily.
Yes, it's just the three of us.
It's just the three of us
Yeah.
who are like, oh, okay, so we'll meet then, and we'll talk about this.
We should. Can we can we create some sort of like interconnected system, interconnected economy between the three of us,
Oh,
in which
yeah.
that's the only people who need to be communicating, the three of us.
Let's create an engorged whirlpool of NFTs.
Oh.
I buy them from you. You
Yeah.
sell them to Emily.
Yeah.
Emily sells them back to me.
That's how you raise the price,
Yeah. That with churn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that way we just start dealing in volume until eventually we're living off the interest.
Yeah, baby.
What do you think about
I
that?
love it. Let's churn.
And when we
Can I
make
churn with you and
meetings-
your wife?
Yeah.
Can I churn
Oh, I
NFTs
thought
with
you'd
you and your
never
wife?
ask. Pig on a spit, baby. It's January 6th.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Brendan, I just looked at my Spike Club and I have no idea what it means.
Oh.
Global perspective.
Yeah, I wondered about that myself.
It says, very curious why I could be angry about a global perspective.
Are you really angry at those globalist cucks?
I think that's what it was. Yeah. Yeah. Global perspectives. Maybe it's just like
Is that a phrase people bandy about in the advertising world?
no, it's not. It's not that I know of. I think it's just like maybe I was getting angry about not. Oh, maybe it's like the way that we sort of like are so focused on what's like far away and not anything that's around us. Like, yeah, I think that's it. Like what, like I want to go back to a time when the most concerning thing in my life is, whether or not Bessie, the farmer's wife, and Alex, the barber, are having an affair.
Yes.
Like, why can't we? I just want to live in a smaller environment instead of just constantly feeling like, I mean, I think that's why there's so much anger right now, because like we're all upset about things that have nothing to do with us. It's like this whole world outside of us.
Yep.
And we get all of our information from the media, which we have no control over, and they've got their own messages that they're feeding us, and like they're just ramping us up, and we're all angry, and no one even knows like what Bessie the farmer's wife and Alex the barber are up to.
Exactly.
And that could be like so much more interesting.
Alex is going to be cutting Bessie's husband's hair
Right.
next week because little Sally's wedding is coming up, and Bessie's husband's hair is getting long.
Yes.
I saw it at the feed store.
Yes, and then what? And what's going to happen?
They're going to be looking at each other in the mirror.
Will fisticuffs break out?
And should we tell Bessie's husband?
I don't know. Maybe we should. Maybe it's our responsibility.
Guys, I know they stopped having sex 5 years ago.
Right, and
when,
he's a
when
fucking
he got his penis caught in the turbine.
Exactly. Yes, I remember that all too well. Seeing the shredded penis flying out over the field.
Well, it was on the cover of the newspaper above the fold.
Right, but here's the thing: he's a fucking Trump supporter, and any of these goddamn militia having. See, now suddenly I'm back into the global perspective. I just wanted to have some fun with Alex, the farmer's wife, and I don't know, man. Yep. I am just like I'm tired of being like. It's also like this virtual world that we're living in all the time.
Oh, the metaverse.
Just like, well, yeah, whatever the equivalent is now. Like the shitty metaverse is really what we're living in now. It's like the shitaverse where it's just like. I don't even know if my coworkers are real or if they're computer generated, it's just it's a weird world. I just want to be where I am.
It's really weird.
How do you go back to a time where you are where you are?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Can you ever go back to that time?
Can you?
That was 2015.
Yeah, maybe. Not even
I did
that.
not
Pre-smartphones. I think that's smartphones are what destroyed that.
Yeah, that's true.
Smartphones and the internet. But the internet used to be fun. It used to be fat chicks and party hats. Bub Rub and Little Sis.
Bub Rub and Little Sis.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Okay. That's my Spike Club.
That's a pretty good Spike Club.
Thanks,
and
brother.
Took me a while. You bring up a very, very solid point. The world is too big and there's too much information in it. And now we have all the information, all of it. So it's a huge planet on which at any given moment there's going to be tons of suffering. And if in your fucking pocket you can be like, who's suffering right now?
Right.
And you get the laundry list, no human can withstand the fire hose of sorrow that is the information coming at us.
Yes.
When you are poised to be at a certain, when you tune into a certain frequency, psycho-emotional, intellectually, and are like, I care about the world and I have children, you're fucked.
Yes. Yeah. One scroll of Twitter, one little like 5-minute scroll of Twitter, and you have seen more sorrow than your grandparents did in their entire life, and they were in wars.
Right, exactly.
Like
Exactly. And they were like, well, 17 of my brothers were lost, so I'm just going to do the Holly Gully.
Right, yeah.
And hope that makes me feel better.
Exactly. 23 Skidoo.
Tippy Canoe and Tyler, too.
Yes. Okay. Old Kinderhook. What's your final Spike Club?
My final Spike
Final
Club.
Spike for the night.
I'm going to say this, Jeff. It's a little bit of a It's a little bit an odd one,
That's
and it was a surprise to even me as I wrote it.
Okay.
People who talk openly about getting really about being excited about the fact that they're going to be drunk.
Oh, yeah. That's. Oh, I mean, do people do that beyond age 25?
Well, maybe they don't. So, or I think after 25, it becomes about liquor commercials or the way advertising for liquor or something like that, or people are like, we're gonna go out, we're like, I could use a glass of wine, you guys. Boy, after that was crazy.
Right.
And call me a total Puritan, definitely Fox and the Grapes, because I'm jealous because I can't drink anymore. But there is an amount of I feel like drinking is like shitting, and it's like having sex.
Yeah, but wonderful things that are purely enjoyable to everyone.
Yep. It's been dad jeans.
Thank you.
Well, Jeffrey Dinsmore, I want to thank you for
Yeah,
being on
thank you for being here tonight as well.
I think there's something about it that the drunkenness should always be a distasteful incidental event to the otherwise interesting.
That's the thing that
consumption of
goes wrong
tinctures.
while you happen to be enjoying the brew.
Yeah, it certainly shouldn't be the point. I like a martini, or at least I used to, as much as the next guy.
Sure.
I still do. I just can't drink them anymore. Anyway, I love martini. I was a martini man,
Yeah.
and I would drink 1.5,
Okay.
and I wouldn't really feel anything, but they taste delicious.
Huh.
And I wouldn't keep going till I was ready to steal a car. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Call me a Puritan, but there is something about getting drunk culture that makes me frustrated.
Well, you're older.
I'm older.
I mean, I'm the exact opposite. Like I don't drink anything for the taste. Fuck that.
You're just slamming it down?
I just want to get drunk. I just want to forget this miserable world. That's the only
Does it
reason I
work?
ever drink.
Do you forget it when you're drunk? And do you get drunk anymore?
I'm loving life when I'm drunk, and I'm hating it the next day.
So it's a high followed by a low.
I would say I get tipsy. I definitely get tipsy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get. I mean, I have children, so I don't get like blackout drunk or anything. But like, I would say I have more than my fair share some nights. It's like in group gatherings. But mostly I just do it to like feel comfortable around other humans.
Yes.
Like that's where it
missed
starts.
that.
That's where it all starts. I'm just like, I'm going to feel comfortable around other people. I have to keep drinking. And then I'm just like, well, I've had a few. I might as well just have more. That's kind of my drinking.
You get loose.
And then I get a little bit loose and sloppy. And then the next morning I feel terrible and depressed for the whole day.
Let me tell you.
I don't really do that anymore. It's been a while.
Can I tell you about what I did Saturday night?
Got drunk?
Better. It was better.
Got high?
Kinda.
Oh, okay.
I went to my cousin's.
Did whippets?
I did whippets.
Yeah, maybe.
I went to my cousin's birthday party in New York City.
Oh, wow.
I was in New York over the weekend.
How crazy. Okay.
And-
Was it a significant birthday?
40. She was turning 40.
Okay.
This is a cousin who I'm really close. We've become really close friends in the last couple. She's a listener, in fact.
Oh, interesting.
Hi, Jaji.
Hi, Jaji.
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 Jaji. Happy birthday, Jaji. And she was turning 40, so I carted
Surprised
myself
her?
right over there. Yeah. No, she knew I was coming.
Okay.
Because she texted me and she was like, I'm turning 40 in New York. And I was like, I'll be there.
Oh, that's fun.
It was very fun. And I went to this party, and at this party, which was somewhat fancy, they had cocktails
Was
that
it at a
were
bar?
It was at a bar. It was like the basement of an Italian restaurant
Okay.
on the Upper West Side.
Scenes from an Italian restaurant.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And they had drinks that were THC cocktails as opposed to alcohol. They didn't have alcohol. They had THC in them.
I see.
So as you drink, you get high instead of get drunk.
Yeah.
And I was drinking them, and I was trying to I was with her husband, my cousin-in-law, I guess. He was like, let's see, it's 33 grams of THC in there, but that's a giant bottle. If you do that, carry the one. I think one of these drinks is less than a puff. And I was like, okay, then I'll keep drinking. I drank 4 of them, right?
Okay.
And it was feeling fine, kind of like warm, but nothing particularly crazy.
Okay.
And then I had to get home. I'm at Broadway and 77th, and now I'm telling a story. I hate when people do this, but I'm telling a story involving street names in New York, and I hate when people do it, but
Okay.
it's important.
I feel like you're kind of doing what you just said was your Spike Club, though. People who talk about like getting loaded or whatever.
You're right.
Okay. Keep going.
And so,
The
but
audience needs to hear the end of the story.
okay, so I'm at Broadway and 77th, and you know the city bikes that you can
Yes,
rent?
of course.
They now have electric ones.
Yes.
And so I have to get to the Lower East Side of Manhattan,
Yes.
diagonally across the island.
Oh, take a city bike. That sounds amazing.
And they have all these bike paths,
Yeah.
bike lanes.
Okay.
And so I grabbed an electric city bike,
Awesome.
which is basically tantamount to a fucking motorcycle,
Okay.
and bombed down 9th Avenue.
Fun.
At midnight on Saturday night.
what a blast.
And my plane was taken off at like 8 a.m. the next morning, and I was like, ah! But the thing is, the THC kicked in on the bike home.
Oh, wow.
And so I was high as a kite.
Oh, my God.
In
That
the
sounds
middle
like
of
so
Manhattan.
much fun.
It was so fun. It was the night of my fucking life. I was like,
Wow.
ah!
That's
This
amazing.
electric
And you're
bike was
alone.
amazing.
I
Alone.
love being alone in that situation when I'm
Yes.
just like, yes, the air is crisp.
The air was it was a crisp November night. I was wearing a blazer.
And
And then I had to go through like the West Village, and just like in New York was just having its evening.
People were just doing their
People
thing
were doing
out
their
and
thing
about.
out and about.
Young kids. There's a lot of young kids out there.
Babies standing on the
Having
corner for some
fun.
alone,
Just babies smoking a cigarette, smoking a Winston.
smoking a Winston, looking at a racing form.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, baby, God, I'm high."
Yeah. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Oh my God.
was
That sounds
amazing.
amazing.
It was
So
really
then
fun.
did you sleep?
Yeah, I slept hard.
But you had to catch an 8 a.m. flight?
Yeah. And here's the thing:
Yeah.
I got on the flight. It was fine. I got on the flight, and I had to drag myself out of bed, but I did
At
make
what?
it
Like 5, 4?
5, something like that, 4.5, 5.
And then you got, and it took a cab? How'd you get to the
Eventually, I had this whole plan. I was going to take a train, but then the trains don't go on the Google schedule anymore. It used to be to the minute, and this one came 3 minutes early, and that fucked everything up. So then I jumped on another city bike, and it's 6 in the morning,
Whoa.
and I'm trying to bike across to the Washington Square station to get on that train, and eventually get out to JFK. Nothing worked, and eventually I was like, fuck it, and I had to go upstairs and took a cab, and it was like $80, which sucked because I was on a budget, but whatever.
Yes.
But the point is, I was
Yeah.
still a little bit high, and even on the plane, I was just like relaxed.
Nice. So
Yeah.
are you going to become a weed guy now?
I'd love to. I'll have to get one of the bottle of whatever I was drinking.
No one can just be sober. Like, that's absurd.
No,
everyone needs a drug.
Yeah, not as an American fucking parent.
No.
who's
you
interested in
can't
the
just be
news.
sober.
No,
You
no,
got to have
no.
something.
Got to take the edge off.
Weed is legal here. You might have heard.
I've heard.
And I used to be a pothead, man. Like, I would smoke some weed, brother.
Are you
I would
talking about
smoke
some
weed?
some like what do they call that? Like filthy nugs or whatever it is.
I would eat up those chappy nugs.
What's the
Chappy
word?
Noog ways.
There's a word for like disgusting, like just disgusting, whatever. Anyway, go on.
Yeah. No, just
Terminology.
tasty,
Sticky.
sticky buds. I would have some sticky buds.
Yeah.
Roll up some L's. I'll tell you what I do. I just when I smoke weed now, it just never has the desired effect. It's just always I'm just always kind of like,
Oh,
I'm tired now.
would you consider moving back to New York with me
To get high?
and to get high and ride city bikes at night?
See, that just sounds glorious. That sounds glorious.
Glorious.
Maybe I should try these THC sodas. Maybe that's my next move.
We invested in one of those companies.
You did? Mm-hmm. Smart. After this experience?
No, that'd be funny.
Yeah.
Honey, weed is the future.
It is. It is.
She has a friend.
Better
who's
than
done a
crypto.
startup.
It's a wiser investment than crypto.
That's true. Although Staples Center is now going to become Crypto.com Stadium.
Yeah,
Or
that'll
arena,
crash.
whatever.
That'll come crashing into the sea at some point.
Yeah, at some point. I know.
I think it's time for us to bid adieu to our listeners.
Well, Jeffrey Dinsmore, I just want to say thank you for being on Dad.
I'm
Jokes.
just going to accept it. It's your show now. Thank you for having me.
It's
Brendan.
certainly no. Thank you for having me, Jeffrey. This
No,
is your show.
it was
Oh,
wonderful
no,
to be on
no.
your
It was really
show.
great to be here.
I do not
This has
claim, ladies and gentlemen, I do not claim any part of this.
This has been on my bucket list for a long time.
I am here only at Brendan's behest.
Jeff, I've been a fan a long time.
God, stop
I've
it. What are you
always wanted
doing?
to put my
What are you
mouth
doing to me?
on this microphone.
Oh, well, thank you for mouthing my mic. All right, enough of that. Brendan, you jolly bastard. I'll talk to you next week.
Okay, that sounds great.
Or 2 weeks. We're doing it every 2 weeks now.
It feels like a bi-weekly situation.
It feels like a bi-weekly situation. And next week is Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving. You're probably listening to this while you're carving the turkey.
Yes. Is this the turkey trot-atacular? Is that what we're doing this week?
Yes, I think that has to be it.
Okay, I'll write that down.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.